It's episode 10 today. And we finally made it. So I made a promise to myself that I am gonna keep celebrating 10 episode milestones because I've been trying to really establish myself in this content creation space and even this channel. It has a couple of old videos of when I started to actually try to do podcasting and or actually just speak in front of the camera. So I would try a couple of months and then I would stop and then I would do, so I had to put milestones, and this is episode 10. And I am currently sitting on 98 subscribers. So 2 more to 100. So yeah, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so I can get 100, so I can celebrate 2 things today. But I'm very excited that I've reached this milestone, and it came at a very interesting weekend that I've had and that I want to talk about, because we had an event at the barbershop, which is it was the first edition of the event, and a artist community called GQ Culture, and GQ stands for Gqeberha, my hometown. So the barbershop collaborated with GQ Culture to host one of our most successful events this far in the barbershop. We've had a couple last year, but this year I think this one was a good one. It was one of the top ones. We enjoyed ourselves. The audience was amazing. The kids came out in numbers, drip, everything. Like, the energy was just what I really want the barbershop to be about. So I really felt today's episode is to just maybe, it's time for me, each and every milestone, I'll try to come back to the reason why I'm even doing this, or the goals behind why I even created the brand IDYAN, because it's not just a podcast, it's not just a clothing brand. And I just want to reintroduce IDYAN to you guys today. So let's do it. We can't really run away from the fact that as a society we're facing a crisis. And the crisis is a lack of men who will stand in the gap. As we say, men who will stand in the gap. This does not just apply in our religion, it applies in our communities, it applies in every aspect where men are involved. You know the stories, you know how men have been, over the years, been painted in a way, which is fittingly, because I am not gonna be an advocate for izinto wrong. We did do a lot of wrong. We were misled, miseducated, and misinformed, with so many things in history that we can pinpoint to that, but I don't really want to get into them today. But I really feel that because of that, there are a lot of institutions that are meant to actually assist men, because ngesintu, we all know it takes a community. It doesn't just take your mother and your father, let alone in instances where we grow up in a household where there's not even a father figure to actually guide the young men these days to actually be in lela afuneke beyiyo. Some of our dads were also facing izinto zabo of lendo ndithetha ngayo ke, of our past traumas and everything. But again, those are not excuses, because the actions that were taken after were not actions that actually healed. We made matters worse. So, as I said, the institutions that were there to actually help guide nazo, they've been really polluted with izinto ezininzi. I can mention Ihlati, for instance, for us Xhosa men. There's a lot of just craziness and nonsense that has broken down that institution. Now I can say this with confidence because but there are so many other aspects in education, like there are so many spaces where the opportunity to actually build and hone men is not really being taken seriously. Yeah. So that's the gap that IDYAN Africa is trying to fill. I know that it's been running since 2020. I really needed a can in my life to actually point the way, man, because we all know how that time was throughout the whole world. Yeah. So that's how the concept of IDYAN started. And as a seed, I never saw myself standing here. Let me put it that way. In 2020, I never saw myself that I would be trying to be a voice for the voiceless, a voice of guidance, authority, comfort, advice. So I found myself in this space because I really felt that I had to be what I really lacked at the time. I didn't really know that I needed to be that. The only thing I knew is that I needed that. So I really think my brand, or the brand IDYAN, because right now it's starting to become a family. There are so many people involved in it. The brand itself is slowly becoming that. It's slowly taking shape, and it's slowly becoming Londoleo through the stuff that I really want us to depict or to go through today, which I call the pillars of the IDYAN Africa ecosystem. So yeah, let's go through them. I think we'll just start off with the obvious one, the one where you're looking at, and that's the podcast. Now, the podcast, I created it for conversations. I wanted to be a conversation builder and a conversation starter around the topic of men, around the topic of what it means to be a modern man, what it means to be a man that is going to be in the gap, that's going to stand in the gap, that's going to stand with the values, morals, and all the responsibilities that the society and what we are trying to build right now as a community and as a nation needs. So the podcast is honestly built around that. It's going to be, as today is the 10th episode, I am actually looking at inviting guests now, probably, as I said in the beginning or the earlier episodes, that we'll try and move it to the barbershop for a more nice environment or space to actually invite people to, because I'm actually in my room right now, so I can't really invite guests to come here. Well, these streamers do it, but I'm not really comfortable with, this is my personal space, no offense, but I'd like to keep it that way. So to invite guests, I think we're going to move to the barbershop, and it's going to be a logistical nightmare because right now it's just a mic, a light, and a phone. But there I'm going to need a lot more assistance and all of that other stuff. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there because, as I said, so the podcast is targeted for that. I want it to be a conversation starter. I want it to be a base where men can feel free to speak out, to feel that there is a mirror out there. I want this podcast to be a mirror where Amadoda can see themselves in all the guests that will be invited here, in all the topics that I'm talking about, in everything that is discussed in the podcast. So yeah, that's the first pillar. And then the barbershop. Now, the barbershop is the community. It's where everything that is said here can be lived practically. It's where those conversations will actually be put into practice with all the stuff that we are building, the community that we're creating, the events that are there targeted at actually helping and assisting and giving young men and women a platform to actually voice themselves out. Because as an artist myself, I know that whenever there's something that is troubling me or the best way to do it is to actually create. Yeah, well, that's why I'm doing a podcast, because I love talking and I'm trying to be comfortable. And I think this is my 10th episode. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable and I'm getting my pace and my flow, because I used to be so stuck in the notes and making sure that I hit every point. But right now, I think I'm getting the flow of it. And these are the conversations and the education I want us to actually have in the in the barbershop, because I want to invite your specialities, blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, well, your specialists, that's what I'm looking for. Specialists in many fields, because I believe I have a vast network of people that I know, that I love, that I respect, that will obviously honor the invite of me whenever I ask them to come and assist Asemajidin, because there's someone I'm having in mind right now that I want to invite for cameramen. There's someone I have in mind that I want to invite for musicians to help us with navigating the industry and all that other space. And these are well-established people. There's someone I want to invite also for, mental health and all these other things. So these are the topics that I want us to actually discuss in the podcast. Yeah. So, the barbershop is where all those conversations will exist, not just here, but the community will be built there. The support, the community building, how we do as a society and how we can support each other and, cross-pollinate even in audiences, in markets and art and everything. Yeah. And then IDYAN Africa, which is the clothing brand, and the name actually comes from it, the clothing brand. Now, the clothing brand, I like to define it as your identity, what you wear, what you put on. Well, right now I got a Legato shirt. I have to plug Legato everywhere I go. I got a Legato shirt right now. But IDYAN, the clothing brand, is supposed to be your identity, what you wear, because I truly feel even in rooms that you walk in, people, before you even speak, before you even introduce yourself and say who you are, people will judge you based on how you look. And they'll be like, okay, this is a respectable man, or this is a bum. Yeah, well. So the clothing brand, I don't want us to only just regain our dignity as a Madoda through conversations and through actions, but I also want us to regain it through just our appearance and how we look. And as someone who loves fashion, I truly felt that that's one of the best ways for me to actually get that point across, is by having a clothing brand, because I think that's where it all started. That's where I truly gained my confidence. And if you follow Legato, you'll know that most of our shows, I'll always be tripped out. I don't care, because that's where I really feel more myself. Some people will be like, I'm a chambale, is a show off, and is all of that. But hey, bruh, if you want me to perform in flip flops and shorts, you won't get the best of me. So I always have to put on that sort of armor. So the clothing brand, I really want it to focus on that. Hence, it's even, I don't want to go into the philosophy and the thesis of it and everything that's around it, but it's a workwear brand, as it's a menswear brand, but it's also a workwear brand. Hence, I'm playing with like leathers, your hides, your denims, your canvas. So, that's where my existence is when it comes to the brand, because I want men to put that sort of armor on when they are tackling the day, when you're going to work out there. So that's the spirit of the brand, and that's the identity that I want everyone associated with the brand to feel. So yeah. And then for the last one, which is the events that are also hosted at the barbershop, the events are the activation. So once we're done talking, once we're done suiting up, once we're done building this community that we're talking about, it's time for us to put this thing into action. It's time for us to actually colonize the world with GQ culture. Because I truly believe that that's the best way to get your point across. Is you have to colonize people with your ideas. You have to colonize people with your beliefs. You have to colonize people with your... Yeah, man, like I'm stuck there because I'm like, hey, I've been saying colonize a lot. And I know that's a very derogatory term. I don't know, but if we can own it and use it for good, maybe it can turn out something. Because if you are influencing people with good, then you are not doing any harm to the world. If you are influencing people with positive vibes, man, I want to show videos of the and pictures probably towards the end of the episode. I want to put the pictures of the event we had. the energy that you will see just from the pictures straight that day, man. Everyone here was happy. There was performances. People didn't even want to leave. We ran out of artists and people started freestyling on the mic. And then they were tired of that and they just sat there. They were like, okay, we're not going to leave. We're just going to chill. And I was like, man, this is what I want this space to be. Yeah, well, this is what I want the energy here to live. So yeah, man, I was really happy. I was really happy on the weekend. Dango Cheesy, shout out Cheese Gang, shout out M Kindness, shout out Jan. I have to say, Amajita, we pulled off a good one. We pulled off a great one. So yeah, man, this is the honest vision of the brand IDYAN. This is the most clearest form I think I can actually put it. If you watch this episode, I think for the first time you'll know what IDYAN is about and what it stands for. This is the vision for us to better ourselves as a Machita, for us to stand in the gap, for us to be what we lacked, for us to be everything that we wanted growing up. We still have an opportunity. We can still self-parent. We can still go to therapy, guys. Yeah, well, we can still do all these things to ensure that we reverse the wrongs that were done by the people that we know, people we don't know, directly or indirectly. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of it, yeah, well, but I really want us to focus on the vision of who we want to be. Better men, Machita, that will be successful in the future. Machita that will build a nation that will be proud of, that will be handing over to future generations. Just like we got it, Ililo. It's pointless for us to cry about it right now. It's not pointless because I think, yeah, we deserve to have a voice, and crying is part of us voicing ourselves out. But we also need to do something about it. We need to be active about it. So all these pillars, all the 4 pillars that IDYAN stands for, are trying to put conversation, put idea, put community and action into one room, so that all these things don't just live separately, but as long as pile up. Yeah. So I hope you guys are gonna take something from this, how I end the episode. But okay, because it's my 10th episode, I feel like I haven't had a single episode where I ask people to like, share, subscribe, or comment. But I really want us, if you've made it this far, I want you to comment someone that you'd love to see as a guest. Locally, nationally, if I have the muscle, I'll see. But I prefer locally here in GQ. It could be anyone, your favorite artist, your favorite creative, your business person, anyone, a speaker, someone that's inspiring that we can have in the podcast that you feel is aligned to what we are here for. So if you have any suggestions, I'll truly love your comments. And yeah, man, for the first time in episode number 10, like, share, subscribe. Let's try and make it bigger, because right now I truly feel it's going way beyond me, and it's going to be a big responsibility to me. And I feel I need to hand it over to everyone that is a part of it right now, so that we can make it bigger than what it is. So, yep. Thank you guys for tuning in this far till the 10th episode. I need, as always, a make chingo. Yasugale. And stuff. Thank you for standing in, man. And I'll see you on the 11th one. Jan is out.